How's it going, guys and geeks? Welcome back to the Geek Critique Show. Her name's Jen.
And he's Dakota.
I thought I would trick her. Didn't work. We're going to be talking all about the latest episode of Doctor Who, The Pyramids of Mars. I mean, not that one. The Pyramid at the End of the World. Before we do that, though, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor this week and every day pretty much. It's you guys. You guys are the ones who come every day and watch our videos, and we want to thank you so much for doing that. Let us know who you guys are, where you guys are from, but we also want to make a quick mention that we completely changed our Patreon page up over at the link below, and you guys can go follow that and see what is in store for you guys if you do become patrons.
So on top of the fact that you get to see some of our videos earlier, you can also get, all of our new patrons get a shout out, but then in addition to that, we're going to start doing an on-screen shout out each week.
Yes, or not even each week, each video. So each video is going to be completely random, who gets the shout out with our patrons. More details about that in a later video, but basically, depending on what tier you choose to pledge to us, you get a certain number of tickets, basically, that we can pull out of a hat randomly, and your name could be chosen to be in our videos if you are a patron. So, and that's a recurring thing. It doesn't go away once you get your name pulled out of the hat. So, it's completely random. Let's try that out right now, see who gets chosen. Jen, why don't you click the random name generator?
This isn't a hat.
Anthony Gunsch.
Anthony!
He was one of our very first patrons, actually. So, shout out to you, Anthony Gunsch. Usually we won't do this little segment in our videos.
It'll just be like, bow, bow.
It'll show up just like it just did. So, let's get back to Doctor Who. So, this is part 2 of the, I guess, the Extremis arc that we're going into. Extremis wasn't even mentioned in this episode, so that text that you spoke of.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't really bring up the Veritas that much. Was that just to make us aware of it, and there's no indication of how to destroy this thing in there? I kind of wish that we'd gotten more information on it, because we didn't actually read anything from the Veritas. We actually learned what the Veritas kind of said because of Nardole and Bill going into the portal. Yeah. So I feel like there might be some answers in there as to what we're supposed to do, because it seemed like a big part of things initially.
Yeah. But does this mean that everything that happened in that first episode in this 3-episode arc is completely null and void? There's no
No, I don't think so, because that was the Doctor calls the real Doctor for help, and this is the real Doctor helping. But I think he has to first stop real Earth from being destroyed, then he'll have to help fake Earth.
No, I don't think fake Earth exists anymore. I think that was just a simulation
They just deleted the whole thing?
I think so. I think it was literally a simulation where they were able to copy consciousness and move it over into this fictional world that was as real as the real world can be. And
I don't know why. I thought he was going to say something like, and that world is real now too.
It's possible,
but unlikely.
Very unlikely.
Because what is going to keep that thing generating?
It's not like we're gonna get 2 Doctor Who shows now. It's
no, I don't think so. I just kind of thought it would be kind of like,
I don't want them to
when
pull
10 there was another 10 that we know he was doing.
No, I don't ever want that again. That's the stupidest idea that's ever happened to Doctor Who. It's good for the fangirls out there, but it doesn't do anything for me. It makes me angry, actually.
You make me angry.
The only character in this episode to actually get any semblance of memory of what happened in the previous episode was the Doctor. But he was able to tell Nardole and Bill his adventure, and in great detail, apparently, because Bill knew that the Pope showed up at her house, and Nardole knew what the monks looked like.
Your tutor has strange dreams.
That he does. What'd you think of this episode in comparison to the previous one?
I liked the previous one better.
Yeah, it was.
But I still did enjoy this one. I mean, I still thought that this was good. Some stuff kind of, I don't know, annoyed me a little. Bill seeming really tempted to consent, right off the bat. And even all the world's leaders, being so willing to be let's just consent. That just doesn't seem like the personality type of that figure. But maybe one of them, if one of them caved, but all 3 very quickly caved and were let's consent before the Doctor could even
they didn't even think about
deliberate
it, really.
his plan.
They didn't think about it. they just assumed that they could love. Or no, that's the thing. It was strategic what they did. It wasn't out of love in any way. It wasn't in love for like the people that they were protecting. It wasn't out of love for anything. It was more out of fear and strategy that they chose to.
They just wanted
consent.
to win.
Yeah, they wanted their own life, basically.
I really enjoyed Extremis. So this one, I'm not saying it was bad, I just enjoyed that more. I did like the concept of them just building a pyramid. Like, why they chose a pyramid, I don't really know. But I thought that was cool that it was kind of like, we're just going to put this pyramid in between, you know, like, 3 world powers and see what they do.
Yeah, see.
And that they were kind of like, bring it on.
Yeah,
It reminded me of that episode of Rick and Morty, when he was like, show me what you got.
The view from here is the same as yours, Jim. A giant head has entered Earth's gravity, triggering climate change and natural disasters we thought were impossible for at least another 8 years.
Let's not make this political, Terry. Do we know what this giant head wants?
Show me what you got!
Of the world powers that they showed, there was the Russian general, the US general, the Chinese general, and then I think he was a Japanese United Nations official. I can't speak for any of these characters except for the US general in terms of like how well they were interpreted on screen, but I have to say it's gone on too long. The British don't know how to write Americans.
They write us like, which I know we're going to get a lot of flack for saying that, but just watching the episode the first time, I'm like, why is the American always an idiot? He's always an idiot.
There are a lot of dumb Americans. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, I wish we could argue that, but we really can't. But geez, like...
We don't all have guns, contrary to popular belief.
I didn't mean to do that.
Everyone who isn't an American, drop your gun.
His personality really irritated me.
It is very one-dimensional.
Well, I mean, like, you can't really say that any of the other generals were dimensional.
True.
Like, they weren't meant to be. It was, like, especially because the writers knew that they were going to die from the start.
It's a recurring problem with Doctor Who in general, I find. That they just can't write Americans well. It's almost like a shtick when Americans come on screen. They got to pull out their guns and they got to act tough and dumb.
Yeah,
you know?
Or just, like, overconfident, know-it-all, but, like, saying, like, stupid little phrases and, like, dumb stuff that Americans wouldn't actually say. And the accents always are, like, a little strange. I'm not sure if they're actually choosing British actors to play American actors. I don't know why there's plenty of Americans out there. He just annoyed the crap out of me, that guy. He annoyed me. He's actually, like... Well, that and the fact that after the doctor said, like, okay, like, show them what you got, basically.
Show me what you got!
Show me what you've got. And, like, attack them. So first the US got taken down, the plane got taken down, and then the Russian, missile from the submarine got taken down. What did the Chinese do?
Yeah, they didn't contribute.
They didn't contribute. Like, what did she do? I was like,
you guys got this.
She's like, they can handle this. I'm busy. Because I was just waiting for, like, the third thing to get taken out, and I'm like, what?
Oh, I forgot to mention this when we were talking about the extremist program that these monks have created, that simulation. I'm pretty sure what they did was simulate as many world-ending events as possible to find the perfect event that
takes everything away.
Yeah, the perfect event that takes everything away and that is, like, almost unpreventable. You know?
Okay.
Like, you can prevent a world war, you can prevent famine, you can prevent plague, but not if it's, like, made in secret. Or,
like the doctor said, biochemical.
Yeah.
Because that takes away plant life as well. And one thing that Dakota had said, and I had said after the first time of watching it was, the way that the doctor so quickly came to that conclusion, oh, it's biochemical, was a little bit contrived. But actually, after thinking about it and then seeing the episode a second time, I realized, oh, the reason why he came to that conclusion was because of when they grabbed those, like, strings that show the desolation of Earth. It was not just mankind, but there were also all of the plants and everything was destroyed.
Yeah, it was indiscriminate in its destruction.
Yeah, and that's how he came to that conclusion, which actually does make quite a bit of sense. And I really liked what he did when he was like, turn off all the cameras and let's see what they turn on. I like when it's like
That's
really simple tricks that work on alien races.
But it
like,
makes sense, like from a storytelling standpoint. Like so many times in Matt Smith's era of the Doctor, did he just point his magic wand, his sonic screwdriver, and the problem was fixed. I'm thinking of like The Power of Three, literally one of the worst episodes for me, just because it no resolution at all, except for here you go, done. I like that the Doctor knew a smart way out of the situation this time.
Which I thought it was really well done because his plan was very simple, but so simple that the monks didn't really even have to think about it. They were just like, oh, glitch. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of the monks, though, what did you think about the way that they looked?
Costumes are okay. I mean, they look like corpses. I don't know. They look fine to me.
I didn't mind, like, their corpsey look, but to me, if you are trying to attain the love of man, showing up looking like a corpse might not be... It's a bit of an awkward introduction,
You're going about it the wrong way, sir.
Like, they should be really, really, really good looking.
Yeah.
Then they would have had everybody.
You know, if they comported themselves like gods. Like, I'm thinking of, in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Sovereign race.
Yeah, actually,
It'd be really easy to love a race that kind of looked beautiful and godlike and golden and...
shiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys, it's like, how the heck do you expect... He's like, you're afraid. I would be terrified if I saw one of those.
Let's talk a little bit about the lab that created said biochemical weapon by mistake. It was interesting how they were able to make that mistake to, like, just a decimal point missing could destroy the world, essentially. I don't know too much about this. I don't know if anything like that is even remotely possible, but to the untrained eye, like myself and yourself, that is like a really scary concept that such a small mistake could end mankind, you know?
Yeah. One hangover and broken glasses
could really
end mankind.
But I will say that the guy, I forget his name, the engineer who decided he was going to take his mask off because he was going to throw up in his helmet, was the stupidest man of all time. Who?
Wow.
Well, maybe not the stupidest of all time. There are dumber. But why would you take your mask off and leave it off when you start seeing plants decay in seconds? Literal seconds. They start decaying. And he opens the thing, just scoops it up, doesn't put his mask back on, runs back, seeing that this is a dangerous biochemical weapon that they've created under the microscope. He still keeps his mask off.
Yeah, he was hungover. I mean,
no one's
we've
that
all
hungover.
We've all done
Nobody's
things when
that
we're
hungover. I could understand if he was drunk, but he wasn't drunk. He was hungover.
That's true. Yeah, they should have made him just... Maybe he was still a little drunk from last night. Who knows when that bottle fell? Maybe he was drinking in the morning.
Oh, so now we know a little bit more about Nardole. The fact that he is basically human. In composition. He is an android, but...
Cheaped out on the lungs.
That
backfired quickly.
That answers the question of whether or not he needed the spacesuit in the episode 2 weeks ago. He does basically have the composition of a regular human. Interestingly, the Doctor, we know the Doctor does not have the composition of a basic human. So he was able to withstand whatever chemicals were thrown at him, basically.
I don't really get, like, why he tested that out, though. That's one thing that concerned me. Like, he just walked into the whole mess and was just like, I'm here. Oh, my lungs are fine. You should go inside, Nardole. Like, that was a big gamble. Like, you know that there's, like, this is where the thing
that is a big gamble.
Because they both just walked out of the TARDIS. And the first time I was watching, I didn't really, like, notice that. But the second time, I was like, you should go back in, like, and get some, like, high-tech stuff.
You're right, because we know that the 10th Doctor died from nuclear radiation poisoning. So things that can kill us can kill him as well as, other things that we've seen the Doctor die from. But, like...
So you think he'd be a little careful?
You would think. You would also
He's
think...
like, I'm blind, I want to regenerate anyway.
Yeah, I think to an extent he probably is waiting to regenerate.
Yeah.
Thinking about where he is, I think now's a good time to talk about the scene where he has to tell Bill that he is blind. And
it was right in front of Bill's eyes, though, for so long.
But he played it
no
well.
pun intended there. He played it well, but with like Nardole explaining everything, like even when he walks up to the pyramid and Nardole's like, okay, there's a door opening, there's a door. And I like how Nardole's mic was just like the little button on his jacket. Did you notice that? I thought that was quite cute, actually. It was like...
Yeah, sci-fi on a budget.
Sci-fi on a budget. Like, he was literally, like, when filming, just talking into his jacket.
Good for him. That would have been really funny to film,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, like, to me, that all would have tipped her. Like, if that was me, I would think, I would like to hope that I would be like, why is he describing everything? And it's not like she didn't know the doctor was blind earlier in the season. Like, it's not that much of a stretch to be like, wait a minute, is he still blind? And then he was like, I have a secret to tell you. And then he goes, blind them! We'll blind them! It's like, holy crap, Bill. Get it together, lady. I was just really hoping she would find out before he told her.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been better, just because it would have showed that she is, an intelligent companion. Not that I'm not saying that she isn't an intelligent companion, but I think that would have helped her prove herself a little bit. Like, you need me as much as, you need me too, which is like the classic Doctor Who trope. I know, like, the companion is helping him just as much as he's helping them. But I thought that might have been nice to prove herself a little.
I would have liked to see the 12th Doctor's run end with him having lost his eyesight for an extended period of time, not just 3 episodes. Or two and a half, really, because he lost his eyesight halfway through Oxygen. But hopefully there's some good resolution to this. I did like the build-up to that scene, though.
Yeah, I
And
think it was really well done.
You didn't like the fact that, like, he couldn't feel the...
I just feel like if there's like this code thing, the first thing I would have done was try to feel the numbers. He never does that. He just goes, I can't, I don't know. I was like, just try.
Terrible
And Dakota was, it wasn't like, I wasn't trying to do a British accent, I was trying to do like, I don't know. I just wish he would have like tried, but Dakota was like, oh, it's stickers like on the thing. And I'm like, this is, like it looks like a pretty high budget lab. Like,
You think they could afford some Braille.
or you think that the numbers would at least be engraved. I mean, like basic locks, they're engraved, but
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe that's
That's a
me
good
being
point.
too practical again.
I didn't have any problems with that necessarily. I would have liked to have seen the Doctor blind for longer. I guess we'll have to find out how, now that Bill has given her consent to these aliens. It's strange. The consent she gave was for them to dominate the entire world, potentially, based on... you haven't seen it. I did see it this week. We usually don't watch the Next Time trailers. The Next Time trailer does kind of hint that the entire world is under these aliens.
Yeah, that's
these
kind
monks.
of,
That
is what the agreement was. Like,
Yeah.
we own you. It's basically signing yourself up for slavery.
I just wish that the Doctor would have told him, no, Bill, don't worry about me. I'll come back. I'll regenerate. And this whole third act wouldn't even be necessary. And they could have done something completely different with it.
Have we seen the Doctor, like, explode and then regenerate before? I don't know. Usually, like, his body is still there to regenerate. Like, I don't know
That's
if
true.
it gets, like, literally blown into smithereens, if it's just gonna, like, reform into a beautiful redhead.
Yeah, we've seen the Doctor pass out. We've seen the Time Lords, like, purposely regenerate him. We've seen him fall from a great height. We've seen him shot a few times. We've seen a bunch, but we haven't seen him explode.
Yeah, maybe exploding, like, that's a deal breaker, and he even knew it. He was like, even I can't come back from this. But I did like the way that he was willing to just accept the repercussions of his actions. Because the Doctor will do, like, and fight for anyone else. But then you see when it comes to himself, as long as everybody else is safe...
He's willing to die.
Yeah, he really didn't... It's not that he didn't care, but he was just like, this is the way it is. This is what needs to happen. And that I thought was really cool. But yeah, that's what I love about the Doctor. Because if Erica, say, was, like, trapped with him, or if she was going to die... then I feel like he would have been fighting more or doing something else. But when it was just him and everybody else was fine, he was willing to just accept his fate. And,
Yeah.
It's sad. It's really, like, heartbreaking, actually. But I admired that. I admire that in him.
So overall, do you like this episode, Joe?
I liked it. Yeah, I
Yeah?
enjoyed it.
It's not as strong as some of the highs of this season have been. I'm thinking the previous 2 episodes were probably the best of the season. This is still only part of the story, and next week we're
Yeah.
gonna get the end of the story, so we'll be
Watch
able
next
to.
week be the greatest.
Hopefully, I really do hope so, because I like the idea of a 3-part storyline. You know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this video, you know what to click. If you don't already follow us, you know what to click. And we want to hear your thoughts. What did you guys think of the episode? Are we on point with our review, our discussion?
Is that how you view Americans?
Are we that way? Are you American and you are exactly like
that?
that Army General? Let us know.
Let us know.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.